Okay, this is gonna be video number 5. I was sick for a while, then we had 7 days without no electricity, and I should have had this done weeks ago. I had 1 through 5. So anyway, we're gonna start back today and refresh on everything. We talked about angles. If you want to know how far to run a flake, angles are so important. So I made me a little angle guide here, like a 45. You can make one. And so I got a ridge right here I want to run down. Just this chalk will make it show up. I don't know, it's on pink, but you can see the ridge right there. I'm gonna run down it. So if I put this here and I strike straight down, I'm not gonna get anything done. Let me hold it this way. This way is better. If I strike straight down, it's gonna come out with my fingers flopping here. But as I turn it, you see how it's going? This is the way the flake's gonna run. So if I turn it and I hit right here, it's gonna run all the way down this ridge. So let me get it on the ridge and turn it on the ridge. So that's the angle I need to hit on to run down that ridge, and that's a pretty steep angle. Most angles are gonna be about like this. So then I've got a ridge right here. I'm gonna take it off. I need to turn that edge over. It's just an illustration. So if I come in here and I strike like this or like this, it's gonna take it off. So what I used to do years ago, when I was learning the flip nap, I used my fingers as a guide and get these glasses off, man, they're making me dizzy. Woo! There's more magnification than I need. I used my fingers as a guide, and this pin here is where my strike was going to be. So this is where the shot waves go out on like a 45 and make a circle. So I would do like this on a preform. So if this was a preform and I wanted to run it like this, I would say, okay, I hit right there and the flake's just going to come out under here. If I hit it here, the flake's going out across. Hope that makes sense. I think I explained it a lot better in that video about it. Okay, we're going to do one right here and do 2 of them. I don't know what kind of lighting I have on this. Once I look at it, I said, oh boy, I couldn't see nothing because the light was shining on it. But here's 2 ridges. Made me a platform, I'm gonna hit on each one of them. All right, let me grab my little white leather pad. And y'all know where I can get a big old thick bubbly leather pad like you see. Let me know, I'm gonna buy one. Kind of looks like it's got air pockets in it. You know what I'm talking about? All right, now I want these to run right. I don't want to run across the sun and fade out. So I'm looking here, and if my center of my endpoint impact is between my 2 fingers, go back to the stick. It don't take as much room. All right, if it's right here, this is the angle I need to hit. So I need to hit on that angle right there. So I'm gonna turn over here, hit on that angle, hit on that angle, and they'll come out. Now I put my mark a little further here than what the center line was. Now I'm gonna raise this edge up. I still got a little higher in here. I'm down the rock a little bit. And when you hit down like this, you raise the edge up. That's a good thing to remember. Down means up. Just the opposite. Alright, so I'm gonna come across here, and I'm gonna come across here. Well, those worked out real good. Now, if you look, there's a huge ridge running across here. It gets high here, and it's a little light hinge, so I don't think I can jump it, but I'm going to run a flake across here. It's probably going to hinge pretty good here, but I got plenty of room back here to take it out. So I'm going to try it first, and it might shoot through it. According to how good the platform is. No, it hinged right where I was talking about. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take it out this way. Boy, I went all the way across to there. Let me see if I can make you realize. Went right into there. That's where it come out at. So now I'm going to pop one off right here. I'm hitting almost straight down here because I'm turning that edge back. Same thing here. When I'm doing this, I'm turning the edges up or down, hitting down and pulling them up, hitting down and pulling them up. Now we have a ridge running right across here. We hit this way and took that ridge out. Look how flat that's getting. All right, now when we turn over to the ugly side, this side was pretty good shape. We have, I think that shows at best, a big old ugly ridge right through here. So I'm gonna run this way. We have a habit of thinking when we're flint knapping, all of our flakes have to cut across this way. In other words, we got it like this, choop, 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 straight across. Lots of times when you run up and down the rock or on an angle like this, you can move a lot of material just by, you won't follow the ridge is what I'm trying to say. If you follow the ridge, you're gonna move a lot of material. All right. This one went right here. Now I got a little ridge left, but I can't follow that ridge because it's a low area. It curves out, so if I put my pencil, which is flat on there, you can see the daylight between it. Let me get it back over. See the daylight between that? You can't nap there, so I'm gonna go ahead and get on this ridge. And another thing, my friend Craig Ratchet mentioned the other day, I forgot about it, I was well aware of it. It's a good teaching tool. Craig's a great teacher. Great flint knapper, great man. Good man to buy from. I buy his stuff and turn around and sell it. And he'll sell it to you real cheap. His kid cut, he has a quarry. And just go out there and get it. Now, I've set my edges up here. Had 3 platforms set up and all that hinge and everything gone. Now, this is what Craig Ratchet was talking about. And I'm going to see if I can find something I can make it show up on. That's not going to work. I should have been prepared, but I just thought about this. Much times I'm going along and think about things. Okay, here we go right here. Okay, this is the edge of your rock. All right, this is the top edge of your rock. And when I mean top edge, I'm talking about this right here. I just made it wide so the illustration is better. All right, your center line is right through here, and you want to try to maintain that center line. But what you got to remember, as Craig's saying, that center line changes constantly. So if you're taking this off over here, you got a different center line. You're taking this off, you got this here. But once you get your point thin and you start getting it down to this shape, then you start needing to paying attention and trying to work off the true center of that rock. So in other words, what I'm saying, if you can see here, this center line goes that which direction, okay? If I raise this up, this line changes. If I raise it down, it changes. So that changes your center line. Your center line is always hitting below whatever you're trying to remove. Just a little below it. That's what basically the center line means. I never thought about explaining it like that, but Craig's one time I think said it's not consistent. Your center line is constantly changing, which is true. Very, very true. Now, I had somebody ask me, in fact, 2 or 3 people asked me, and I guess on some of the videos, on most of my videos, if you watch them, I'll tell you, it's just a hollow piece of PVC pipe. It don't weigh nothing. This thing is so light, I mean, I could just about blow it off with my hand. And in fact, I'm going to swap over to a smaller one. And this is just a regular solid gas cap, gas fitting cap. Here's one that's not mushroomed yet, flat. And when I put it on there, I have a video on it, so go watch it, how to make these things. And they're the most successful, best boppers. I'm more successful with these boppers than anything else I've used. I've had more success making real thin points using these. While I'm knocking down, it just takes not a lot of time to get used to. The main thing without these is changing your size. You can go down to little bitty sizes and big sizes. As your preform gets thinner, you need to go to a smaller, lighter size. I've used deer antler before, and I never had to change size. I could use it and get the same result. But with these, it's best to change the size as it goes down. You'll learn. When you use it a while and you hit it and the flake don't come off like you think it ought to. And so I don't understand that. Go one side down and the next will come off. That's the problem that I have. I'll be working along through here and one just does not remove like I want it to. And I said, well, man, I must not have had my platform right. I didn't hit it hard enough when all I had to done, or should have done, was change the size. Wasn't nothing wrong, everything was right. My size was the problem was. Alright, now, this is something else I want to talk about. This right here. Boy, I see people grind over here and grind up here, and they just grind and grind and grind. If it works for you, you do it. Don't say, well, y'all told us you don't know what you're talking about. I'll never say that, but I will say this. The most successful people are making super thin points. Do not grind hard at all once they get them to a certain stage. And if you don't believe what I'm telling you, you go to your YouTube videos and you watch any guy, Travis, let's see, my friend James, any of you real good flake over grind people that make these super thin points. When they grind that edge out on that diamond thing, and when they come out and their preform is this thin, and they grind that edge out, guess what they dull it with? 320 grit sandpaper, and they do just like this. Right on the edge, and then they wipe the dust off. When you get a point this thin, if you grind the heck out of that spot right there, to release that flake, you're going to have to hit it so hard you're going to break it in half. The stronger the platform is, the more shock it's going to put on this rock. So the thinner you get it, the less grinding you want to do. Now, Jason Newman, one of the best that I have seen, indirect percussion. He uses super thin grinding stones. I mean, they are so thin, and he'll just lightly grind, and he'll tell you that. And he said, I don't use heavy grit grinding stones. All right, so I'm going to come across here and try to get this hinge out. All right, it came out then. I had my continuous platform down through here. I don't know, but I usually work off more continuous platforms and do isolate. Now watch this, I'm going to take this thin one here. Look at the flake it blew across. And I want you to see how sharp that platform was. It's very, 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 very sharp. I just lightly hit it. Oh, I can't hold on much today. I just lightly hit it with this right here. So now I'm looking at this. I got my ugly side again I'm going to work on. We're going to work on this ugly side. And then I'm going to pause for a minute, and I might go to another preform because I'm trying to shorten the video up. I hate watching long videos. And this is some other advice. You probably got the best attention span in the world, but I don't. I've been in the house watching somebody YouTube on telling the deer hide or making a bow. If it runs over 30 minutes, my mind's everywhere but there. So what I've learned is watch it for about 30 minutes and stop it. Come back the next day and continue. I hope you're not like that. More than likely you aren't. That's something you aren't. You are not. That's something I was cursed with. I just don't have much attention span. All right, we're coming through here. Lightly ground these. Running big old flakes off. Come across here on this one. Big old flake. Just tapping right here to stretching my edge a little bit. We'll come over here and go down and bring it up. Start over here to go down and bring it up, down and bring it up. I'm rearranging this center line as we talked about earlier in the video. I'm changing it around. Now I'm going to take this little light one. I'm going to barely tap. I'm going to tap this way because I want to run about half an inch. Perfect. Perfect. Now, one little spot right here, same thing. And all these old little hinges are gonna be out of here. And got them. Now that's right up here on this tip. Got a little ridge to follow here. And guess what? I got in a hurry, and I thought I was below that center line, and I was not, and it didn't come off, so now I'm gonna have to come down here to hit, run one up this way to get rid of that hinge. I should have looked a little better. Alright. All I'm doing right now is just strengthening this edge. Coming back through here, tapping on it, and making it thicker. Take this baby here, lightly tap, lightly tap. Big old flakes covered off. Lightly tap there, lightly tap there. Okay, it's getting pretty thin. I will pressure flake my platforms from now on. I'll isolate them when I get to this point here. I'll start isolating and pressure flaking. Okay, we're gonna pressure flake this one right here. I'm trying to hold this up in view of the camera. Just lightly grind that edge with this thin one right here. I don't want it too strong, I don't want it too thick. I'm gonna try this one here to see how it's gonna work. I might swap back over. Ooh, that one did good. That tight billet right there released all the way across there. That one did good. Okay, now I'm gonna put this thing on pause for a minute. We're gonna swap over.